This is Dwayne, and in this movie I'm going to address a question that a reader had sent to me, and I think it's better suited to a response via a video than a written presentation. Let's take a look. The question is, I'm considering upgrading to FileMaker 10, but I have a couple questions about the automatic sorting feature. If the sort order is based upon a field that is changed from text to number, will this trigger a resort automatically? If the sort order is based on a value list of options, if you change the value list in schema, will this trigger a resort of the found set automatically? So let's go ahead and take a look. What we're talking about here, from the FileMaker website, you can see the listing of new features, and they have a great set of movies on each one. But this is one that's tied more to the dynamic reporting area, where if you make changes, you can automatically see the group data. So the sort happens automatically. You don't have to have your data grouped to have the sort automatically take place. But that's really where it shows off most of its muscle. So let's go ahead and hide that. I'm going to hide this. And jump on over to FileMaker Pro 10. So here we just have a regular listing of fields, and let's see what our sort is right now. So it's based on, let's go ahead and clear all that, and let's just make it sorting by the data that's in the sort field. Okay, and so if we add in a new entry, let's make this a little bit bigger. So we add in a new record. It automatically is 3.1, but let's go ahead and instead of making that 31, make it 3.1. We hit enter, you can see that that new entry popped all the way up here. So this is what we would call an automatic sorting or a dynamic reporting or anything that you'd want to call it. If I were to take this value and change it to 8, boom, you see it move down here to 8. If I change it to 22.5, boom, you see it jumps down to 22.5. So this is kind of what we would call the automatic sorting feature. Now, the first question is, this sort field, which is right here, it's a number field. So that means when we look at the sort, we're going from 1 to 30 in numeric order. Now, if we were to change this field to be a text field, the indexing of the field, the way it's stored underneath the hood, would change. And basically 10 would come after 1 because in a text string you'd have 1, 0, 1, 1, that type of thing. So because it's not numerical anymore, if you sort it by text, 10, it would actually come before 2. So the first question that we had is, if we change this from number to text, will the automatic sorting automatically take that into account? So let's change that over to text. So when we hit change, you can see here over here it's changed to text. So our index has been changed underneath the hood. We hit OK. And there we go. We do see that indeed, we go back to our very first question. If the sort order is based on a field that is changed from text to number, or vice versa, like what we did, will this trigger the resort automatically? And the answer in that is yes, it does, because we just did it. We change it back to number, again, 1, 10, 11, 12, that type of thing. And again, our regular resort will work as well if we move this to 10A, because now we're putting an alpha character, and this is sorted by text. You can see that takes that into account. Go ahead and change that back down to a number. You can see our 10A goes down here underneath the 10 because it has a number. FileMaker is just ignoring the A, and it's just reading that text string now as 10. You can put the alpha character in, but it's ignored. So the next question is based on the sort order. So let's go ahead and just delete this out of here because it's kind of confusing. And what we're talking about here is if we go ahead and bring up our value lists. I have a couple value lists already I put in here. The first one It's kind of got a wild sorting. Basically, it's a text sort that I copied and pasted in as my value list choices. So if we click on here, well, let's give it a value list first. Let's attach that to a value list. This doesn't have anything to do with the sorting. I'm just doing it so you can see it. We click here, we can see there's our value list options. So we go into the sort, and say instead of we wanted to go up or down, we're going to have the sort based on a value list. And let's go ahead and choose our sort by VL1. And so now you're going to see that sort automatically take place. Boom. The question is, if we change the sort order, would it automatically reflect, or change the value list rather? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sort this, not by that value list, but by this value list. And that mimics the regular text stuff. And, well, let's go in and modify that value list. So this is the value list that we're sorted on. I'm going to go ahead and take the first 7 entries, and instead of putting them at the top, put them at the bottom. So we're going to see whether or not our sort order automatically updates. If it does, this 1 through 7 record should come down to the bottom. But it didn't. And just to prove the point, let's go ahead and do a manual sort, again, on that value list. You can see the sort really did, the value list sorting did, but it wasn't automatic, it wasn't dynamic. So our answer to this, if the sort order is based on a value list of options, if you change the value list in schema, will this trigger a resort of the found set automatically? And the answer to that is no. So, in recap, FileMaker 10 does have the ability to do dynamic sorting based on if you change values. So like even in here, if I add a new record, say I add a 2, hit enter, you can see that 2 put back up and sorted automatically. So once you do a sort, FileMaker automatically will update that for you, and that is a FileMaker 10 new feature. Now, there are some changes that you can make in schema that will automatically reflect in the value list and some that will not. In this case, changing the format of the field from text to number or vice versa, or date or number, any type of thing like that, will trigger it automatically. And I imagine that's because we're dealing with the index that's stored underneath the hood, where a value list doesn't really change the index of the field. It's just more of a presentation thing that FileMaker is latching onto. That's just a leap that I'm thinking of why that option doesn't work. So, there you go. By all means, I think you ought to get FileMaker 10 for script triggers and a number of the other features that are in. And there is, I believe, a special upgrade pricing right now on the FileMaker website, so I encourage you to go take a look at that. And if not, you can always download the demo of FileMaker 10, bring it down and start playing with it, see if it really meets your needs. I think it's like a 30-day demo or something, and play with it, see how it goes.